Hello everyone, welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It is Monday night, so we're on to Medium Project Monday. Still working on the star. Actually, have done none of it. Well, up until today, I'll say I've done none all week. I did end up working on this little bit today. Only because I actually cleaned up the desk earlier than I normally do, my workbench here. And once I had it up and cleaned and ready for tonight, I didn't have no chainmail to work on. So I ended up working on a little bit of this. I came over and gave it a few little shots here and there just to please my hands, I guess you could say. I was working on my tutorial and stuff, on a new tutorial I'm working on, so I was working on that, and I had no chainmail to come to give me a break from looking at the computer, so I ended up doing a little bit. So we'll go ahead and get into it here. I'm on my last little part of doing this triangle. And I'll probably go ahead and build the other one, then we'll just attach them both at the same time. So I hope everybody had a good weekend, having a good Labor Day weekend. Today's Labor Day. I thought about not doing the stream, but I was like, I really wasn't doing much else, so I figured why not. So hopefully everybody's having a good day. You're probably busy and out doing stuff, maybe. And people do some things on that. Not doing a whole lot around here today just because wife's got an ankle issue, so she really can't get around today. So we didn't have anything really special planned for today, other than just I did kind of veg a little bit this morning, didn't do a whole lot, and then I finally started getting into doing stuff because I was getting bored. But I hope you all are having a good day, had a good weekend. Hopefully the week's going to be a good week for you. I'll make sure I get up here in the view here. I do want to add also, while I was setting up tonight, I've seen that we're at 299 likes to our page on Facebook. So we are one away from getting to our 300. So if you know anybody, can share it out there, get somebody else to come like. We'll be ready to do our giveaway. Like I said, once we get to the 300 likes, it'll be the following week. So if we can get one more by Friday of this week, like to the page, we will have a giveaway next Wednesday. Gotta take this closer look, make sure I'm getting the right wings into the right ones here. I had this when I was working it earlier. Like I always say, I can always work a lot faster and a lot easier when I'm not doing a stream, just because I'm closer to each ring. And during the stream, I need to make sure I'm out here. So, but anyway, like I said, we're up to 299 likes. One more like, we'll do our giveaways. There'll be live giveaways, but I'll put a reminder out there, and you can share that out. And we want to have the people be in the stream when we do the giveaways. I'm thinking we're going to do 3 kind of littler projects per se, nothing super huge. I am saving for the big 500 likes, and I want to do a bigger giveaway. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one is done. Just wanted to make sure. We'll just kind of put it over here for now and get back to working on another triangle. But I was pretty busy all weekend just working on writing the new tutorial that I've got going, working on some other projects for things, and that was pretty much it. Wasn't a real hot weekend. Had a few nice nights actually. Thought about halfway tempted to get the camper out and backyard camp in it, but decided not to, more just because I really didn't have time to get everything set up on how I'd really want it to enjoy it. I mean, I could just open it up and get in there and sleep, but you know, I'd want to hang out part of the night, and thought about getting a little fire going, but I was like, well, we got some cooler nights coming up, and I look forward to those nice cool nights when we go out there and get a little fire going, hang out by the fire, and get in the camper. Make sure I get the right ones here. Yeah. Like I said, I've got a little chart that I wrote them all down, so I make all my little triangles here the same. So I want to try to keep to that. Even though my ring is not quite even, I've had to make some slight changes once I add in the triangles. Other than the first one, I built the first one on it. So, but I mean, I spent a lot more time on working that one and figuring out the way I wanted it. So that did take a little longer. But the others, when I start adding them in there, I'll realize, okay, it needs to move up, it needs to move down a little bit, so I'll change some of my ring connectors to help that row stretch out if need be. Which can change the rows below it, but, you know, I think it was only maybe 2 ring size changes on one of them. So, it didn't take a whole lot to do a ring change on it. Oh, let me look here. Alright, we got the 4 of those. So we're just going to continue working on this, and by tonight, and see how we're doing, where we're at. We might get to a point that I might stop early. Just kind of depends. You know, that kind of it does depend. Every week it's a little different. I have nothing I need to hurry to get off for tonight, so that's a plus. But if I get to a point where it's going to start, you know, I don't want to get into a major portion. You know, I like to try to end on a decent note, and especially if it's going to be my last working on that project, on this project, till the following Monday. I've actually been doing a little bit better on getting nothing done on my medium projects. I know that sounds odd, but I'm trying to make my medium projects where we pretty much do most of all the build on the stream. At least that's what I try for. I guess I did do a little bit today on it, but it wasn't nothing major per se. Something you've already seen me do, 2 other triangles. You're going to see me doing a 3rd triangle here, so. Okay, there's my 4. And these are all these 2, so. But, you know, unlike the large project that I want to work on more often outside of the stream, because those could take even longer if I only do the stream. Which is currently the chessboard. I've actually got none of it done since we last streamed. I was hoping to get some more done, but I got so involved in doing the tutorial. I did have a football game Friday night that I did for the band, so that took a little extra time there doing all that. Plus I had some more pictures to do of kids that weren't there on Tuesday night for pictures, individual pictures. Well, I will say tonight, though, it was a little weird when I tried to start up the stream. I went to start it up, and I had it in my favorites, and went there, and it said stream not available right now, and I was like, huh? I've never seen that. So I started looking around searching, and it finally dawned on me. I run a YouTube channel for the band. That's where I post their videos for them, so they can go back and view them and all that. And realized I was still logged into that one, so I had to get out of that and log back into the Booga box. Come on, flip on down there. And these are singles. So as soon as I logged in, it was available in the correct way. A real quick check. I haven't checked here tonight. Yeah, everything seems to be going pretty good. We're only like 10 minutes in, so. I haven't really had any internet problems, but my system's been acting a little funky at times, but I think it's, I don't know if it's only related to Facebook, but it kind of bogs down for some reason in Facebook when I've been using private messages, sending messages. Sometimes I'll start typing out a sentence and I have to wait like 30 seconds for the sentence to fully type. You'll see it go letter by letter by letter. Then drive me a little bonkers. It seems like if I close down Firefox, and reopen it, it seems to be fine, so I don't think it's necessarily a computer problem, but I did reboot over the weekend too, which was unusual for me. Like I said, sometimes this computer can go a month or two before I finally have to restart it unless we've lost power or something. Alright, got those three, and then these three. But hopefully the stream isn't having any kind of weird glitchies. I know we had one last week that got a little... It would just pause for a second. I think the audio was there, but the video would just kind of, stop for a half second and then kick back where it was supposed to be. Like a frame rate loss, but... Oh, I forgot to connect those together. I was like, why is this so wide? Got to put my connectors in there, dummy. We're on to the other camera view now. Should have known that after 10 minutes. And I'm half thinking, when we do the giveaway, I might actually flip up my other camera so you can see me. I know that sounds a little weird, as I haven't done that before. But I figured, you know what? Maybe I do. Maybe that's what I'll do as a special 300 like thing, is show my face for an episode. And who knows, I could add it more in there, but we'll see how it goes. I need to get me a backdrop, though, to be honest with you. Part of the reason why I don't do it is, okay, there's my third. Behind me, if I was to do this camera up, you'd just see the other side of the basement area, my work area here, but it's just a laser and a bunch of storage and stuff like that, so it's like, I don't want to necessarily show off that, so I was like, I can just hang a backdrop from the ceiling back behind me probably that I could deal with. So I might end up doing that. We'll kind of see. I haven't fully decided on that yet, but if we can get our 300 likes, then I'm willing to try a little something. We'll see how it goes. 316. What? Hey, already. Cats are already making me get up tonight. Yeah. Y'all just stop fighting with each other. Let's go outside. You going? Come on, Slowpoke. Leave her alone. They really weren't getting into a fight, but they were both looking like they wanted outside, and when they both get over to the door, they Marvel, she'll get a little antsy, like, are you gonna get me, or are you just hanging out? What are you doing? So I figured I'd just go ahead and get them out now and not have to worry about it. Alright, need to connect these. Flip on down even. Like I said, they get along for the most part. They don't really hang out with each other. Like most cats do. Marble is the sweetest little thing ever, but she just doesn't get along with pretty much any other cat. It's a weird thing with her. Am I doing something wrong here? That's my connector. Everything's so floppy right here, it's hard to see it further away. So it starts getting some structure built up in it. Everything's held the right way. Let me double check here. 1, 2. Well, yeah, that's what I was worried of. Did exactly what I was thinking it was going to do. Now I just gotta find the closure. There it is. Get out of that one and through that one. I hung it on the connector instead of the open or flat-faced part. which I have done several times when you're working on this type of thing. So with the 3 and 3, so now we go with the 6. But I also want to say, give a shout out to my other places where you can find our stream. We're on YouTube and Twitch. Just look for the Booga Box. I think on Twitch you have to look for the Booga Box without spaces. I haven't been there. Now that was when I first started. I haven't gone back to search again since then. It might have gotten better with everything else that I've added since. But I know if you can't find it with spaces, try it without spaces. YouTube, I've searched it both ways. It finds it. So you can subscribe to those channels so you can get updates and whatnot on when we're going live and all that. I know I've got some subscribers. Not a whole lot between them. I think maybe 6 between the two, 7 between the two, but I'm not a huge streamer. I just kind of want to do it, and people show up, they show up. If not, no big deal. Like I said before, it kind of just gives me a reason to weave without interruption. That's what I tell the family. Get ready to start a stream. Leave me alone. Oh, did I screw that up too? I think I did. Those are supposed to be, yeah, I'm grabbing the wrong rings, putting them on here. I'm supposed to be using 5/32. And I put on 3/16. Go ahead and, yeah, I should just go ahead and take these off. I can find the closures easy enough. Oh, that's a weird looking messed up ring. That's what you call a major case of the sixings. And it's almost like a extra sixing because it's over each other in both directions. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I'm sure it was just the bagging process. Alright, where you at? I find that stupid closure. I guess, like I said before, I guess it's a good thing when you can't find the closure. It means your closure was pretty decent. Where you have to search for it. Square rings, it's normally is a little easier to find them just because square rings, and talk about how they're a little different than normal round rings. So let's see here. There's my 1, there's my 2, there's my 3. 1. There's that one. And make sure I get them all spread out just right so I can get them on the right ring. And then I'll have to find that first one again. I believe that's you. Yeah. Get one of them on each of one of those at least. Yeah, I must have knocked over some of the others into this pile because I'm going to separate these a little more so I won't get them mixed up. I start weaving, I forget what ring I'm grabbing, especially when I'm yammering. Like I said, when I yammer, sometimes I'll really get a little more unfocused. Unless it's something, I wouldn't say simple, but more simple. At least when I'm something I don't have to change ring sizes on multiple times, I have a less issue. Remember where I'm at, especially when I'm talking. That's why I kind of like having my little space down here so I don't have the family drive me nuts. Love my family, don't get me wrong. Where you at, ring? I've got to look at this closer. Well, what happened to the other one that I had? I thought I put one on that one already. Well, what did I do here? That's that one. Okay. You know, dogs are going crazy out there. Still looking at this one a little closer. Because I got something. There, I got one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That one should be actually a little. I don't know how I screwed up that much. I know I'm out of camera here for this, but I need to get it straightened back up here. Did a little weirdness here. There's my 3. There's my dangle. And I had a flat base. Alright. I've still got something messed up here. I'm not sure exactly what I did wrong. There's 2. There's 3. Okay. Let me hold this a little wider here. It's like sometimes I got the right and then it's wrong, but then it's right. And it's like, that shouldn't be working that way. So, there's 1, my 2, my 3, that one should be more up, and if I do that, then I'm missing my bigger one on that one. Alright. And then we'll connect it with a, I don't know how I missed that, and where, for the life of me, the other ring that I put in to mark my 3rd row is not there. I don't know how I missed that, and where I put that ring. It's not anywhere else in there, but alright, now I think it's correct. And we just need to get these 2 together. Then I'll verify again, but that should be right now. Spread it out. We got 3, 3, 3. Okay. Yeah, it's all right now. I don't know how I didn't end up using any more rings, so I must have just mixed them together and pulled out the wrong one to fix it. So then that made it even worse off. Yeah, I just need 2 for that ring right there. That was weird. But you will have that occasionally happen when you're working with really floppy things like this. They can get a little screwed up at times. Sure, I hold on to it this time. So this is 3 and 3, and now I'm using 6 for my connectors. So the next row will be 4. The small ones. Then it should be getting a little easier to spread it apart and see the form as long as I get these rings correct. And then it gets real easy once you put it on the main star part. Once it's all spread apart, I'll notice if I've screwed anything else up at that point pretty easily because it won't fit. If it doesn't fit, there's something wrong somewhere. Alright, I gotta make sure I get back down in the camera view here when I get at least to my closures. I think my chair's a little further away tonight too. I feel like I'm leaning in real far. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit without getting my head and everything. And grab a drink. We're almost at 30. Seems about every 30 minutes I need to wet the whistle. Ow! Slammed my knee into it. That felt great. Alright. Back onto this. Well, now I don't feel like I'm leaning over. Now I just feel like I'm super close. So hopefully my head doesn't get in the way at times. Alright, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 should be on this last dangle. That's another big one that got in the mix. Maybe that's what I did. I thought I was in the right pile, but for some reason there was a wrong ring in that pile. The only thing I can think of that I did wrong. Alright, so that gives us our 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to connect those with the pickers. Through and up through that one. Trying to stay more up here on this camera. I guess I wouldn't have to worry about that much if I just went to the other two cameras, and I could use this one for my headshot. But I decide to keep going that route. Come on, dog, you need to shut up over there. Cats are probably out there antagonizing him now. The other dogs, they got a younger one. They've got two older ones that they've had for a while, and then they bring in this younger one. And he's slowly been growing up. I mean, he's still pretty much puppy, even though he's getting pretty big, but he just barks constantly at the cats. The other dogs are used to him, I guess, and they don't bark at him, but he'll go out on his own just to go bark at the cats. And up and through. Check here. Should have our 4 going this way. Grab it, stretch it to make sure. Oh, get on my thing there. There's our 4. So we're good on the first row of 4s. And then we do singles. Coming off a bit. And the 4 singles. Okay. Make sure I got the right size again. Back into view, dummy. As soon as I start closing it, it's like I'm telling her away now. If I can see it really, really well, I'm not in camera view. There's one. And there's, come on, get on through. This is where I had, when I was putting on my last triangle, had one of these rings and I'm putting it in now, got in. And I'm going to bring this closer to me to see it. So I can see it, but I want to make sure it's so tight inside the connecting rings. I think I got 5, 6 going through it. I had one that was slightly off shifted where it was kind of overlapping the other one, not letting them fall back into place. And I couldn't get it to stretch out, and I was like, why wouldn't it stretch out? And come to find out, it was that ring. I guess, yeah, this has got 5 going through it. I don't think I can put 6 through it, and that was part of the problem. It was acting like it wanted to have 6, but there. The 5 puts it pretty tight. Well, just to get the ring through. They're still fairly loose, but to make sure it's going to give you the right flop on your next when you try to stretch it out. Got to make sure it's in there just right. These outside ones don't matter because there's only 3. Check everything. Looks like it's all done good. So that's our 4 dangles. Let me grab that real quick just to make sure. There's our 4 and our 4. So we go on to our next 4, which are 4 big ones. If they're not really that big. And they single hang. But yeah, you need to, if you haven't, if you're a chain mailer, and you're coming to watch us, and even if you're not, you can go over to the Booga Box, our webpage at boogamail.com. If you're a mailer, we got some kits and tutorials there. If you're not and just want to get other items, that's where I sell most of my stuff at. I've still got a lot to add to it, but just go there, check it out, see what it's like. I mean, you don't have to purchase anything either, but just go give it a look-see. Like I said, I got more stuff on my Facebook pictures than I do on the actual website right now. I've been trying to add more. I've got everything. I just need to get it in there and add it. That's the only thing. So the middle one is this. We're back to the top view now. Thank you. That one's much easier to deal with. I can kind of move up instead of having to push it out. And so that's the connector for those two. Connect my ends. Mr. number 3. Take some more out. And these are all double stucks. Come back over and grab our other side. And that will be, that's number 4, right? No. Yes. That one's through those two. And that one goes through this one. And what did I do there again? Did I screw something else up? No, I guess it was just the way it was hanging. Thought I'd screwed something else up. Guess at least this is the last triangle. But I'll have a lot of pulling in and out when I start getting onto the center. I was kind of debating on how I wanted to do the center still. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. And then 6 of those, kind of where we were when we started earlier. If I can do it right this time. Because then we got just the bottom row after this. And then we'll start connecting. You gotta go through 2 of each one of these 4 rings. Oh, that's an interesting shape you got there. Yeah, from the one called Starla. I wonder what shape it is. That's my youngest, even though I always say youngest. Like I'll say again, being 21, it feels so weird to say youngest, but normally if you say you got a young kid that's still in school, I guess technically you're still in college, so that is school, so I'm somewhat correct. Still weird. Alrighty, 2-2. But yeah, I'm kind of debate on, I was considering this kit, or this shape. It actually come as a 4-pack, right? Yeah, 4-pack, 4 different size stars in it. And it's got a little 2-inch one that I kind of considered adding to the middle and connecting to it, but I haven't decided on if that's what I want to do yet or not. I laid it in there earlier. Let me go ahead. Let's see if I can grab it. because I thought about adding a smaller one underneath it anyway, and this one I probably wouldn't use, but I'm kind of debating on, we're on top of you now, so this should look okay, if I should do, bring those in and somehow connect it to the star and just fill in and leave the open middle. But I'm not sure if I like that or not. I'm still debating. The star isn't quite, it's got a little odd shapeness to it. It's not quite flat. I could straighten that, but I mean, this comes from more point because that's where it's welded. But it's a little off. So I'm just not sure if I'd like it or not. And if I was to put that in there, I'd build it differently around to connect to it. So that's part of why I'm like, I just need to pick away and go. Then your favorite shape is an octagon. Yeah, right? So 2 more here. Man, I can't get rid of this bug in my throat. It makes me feel like I got coughing in. Which wouldn't surprise me if I have a bug in my throat. Cats are bringing in all kinds of bugs. I know Marble, she's been bringing me in some grasshoppers, locusts. I guess she can't find any moles to grab anymore, so I'm getting all the weird little bugs. She did come in with a big old, I called it Mothra, because this moth was freaking huge. I mean, he was, at least this wide from wingtip to wingtip on the outside, and he was just a huge moth, so it was Mothra. She brought in that one night, and then had a locust. Oh, that thing drove me nuts. I couldn't figure out where he was. And he was just get loud and loud and loud. And I'd walk over in the general area where he was, but he was so loud I couldn't figure out exactly where he was, because he was just echoing off of everything. He was so loud. And when I get close, he'd shut up. So I'd be like, I know I've got to be somewhat near him because he shut up, but I'm not sure where. But I think he eventually worked his way back outside because he kind of disappeared later on that night. I stopped hearing him, and so I figured, oh, he must have found his way out. And then she's been bringing in grasshoppers. She's bringing like 3 or 4 grasshoppers. One of them scared the crap out of me because I wasn't expecting it when I was walking across the room, and he starts jumping. I'll admit I made a quick jump too, because when something's flying at you out of the blue, you kind of take a double take, to say the least. 2. That's not how that one's supposed to go. So I gotta find its closure. Yes, an octagon with 2 extra sides and 5 points. So like a rectangle. I know my shapes well. Alright. What am I doing so weirdly here? Well, one, using, well, that one's right, but make sure I get out enough here. This one's the wrong size. Why did I put the wrong size in there? So it comes off those, yeah, that's just the wrong size all over together. One, 2, now it'll be 3, 4, 5. Okay, I guess that part's right. I just had the wrong ring size in there. I'm looking for a ring size as my end there, and it was the wrong one, so I was getting confused. And then through U and U, this makes number 4. And then the last one is number 5. Then I've just got my connectors of these, and this triangle will be done too. Then I'll have to figure out what sizes it was I was using to connect them. to the triangle, or to the rectangle, octagon, star shape. Alright, so, and these are all connected by these, so, oh, we're over to the other camera now, so this gives me a little bit of leeway still, but not as much as when I get that forward camera. I gotta be right in there for that forward camera. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I guess I didn't add the fifth one in there. I thought I counted 4 just a minute ago before I added that last one, but I guess I didn't. Alright, yeah, that's right. Now, when I get these two attached, then I can start figuring out how I want to get that, how I want to work towards the center. If I want to try to make it come in where there's more straight lineage to a point, or do I get to a point where it's going to be more circular, where I add some thicker, bigger ones at some point and go to a smaller to try to even it out to become more circular, or, like I said, put that star in there. I'm just not sure yet. I guess I'm going to have to figure that out pretty soon, since we're getting pretty close. Alright, make sure I get the right ones again. One, two. Alright, so it's these two next. Down and up. I only need 4 of these, so this next one should be the last one of these. Just go ahead and get it open and ready for when I find out. I know it's this one, and should be that one. If it's not, we'll find out shortly when it doesn't fit. So, alright, let me just give a quick double check here. It should be correct. Sometimes it's better to hold it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 holders. Alrighty. So now we're going to be on to the connections. Don't need any more of those, since it's actually just the other bigger sizes here. And we'll start with the first 2 on the point. And we're going to be getting to this other camera view too, right at the kind of a bad time, because when I get into doing these parts, I got to kind of pick it up towards me a little bit to make sure that I can get around my big ring and then have that attach and then be able to close it decent enough, because I don't want to scratch anything up, and it'll be a little more difficult doing that, at least well. Alright, I'll go to the other side, and then I'll have to tape it. You can see my tape on my other ends over there, kind of just to hold those ends, because they still want to kind of flop around. Even when I got the whole part on, they still want to slide around. That'll stop once I get the tension going towards the middle. So there we go. Because if I don't have it like this, if I just barely go up, it all falls. And it gets better once I put on the other rings further down, but it can still, see how these bunch up? It can bunch up and still want to slide around. So I just end up keeping the tape on the edge there, the front top, just to hold it all in place. I could use a twist tie or something else too, but the tape does a good enough job. It's quick and easy. It's right there. Alrighty, so now we go on to connecting the next rings. And I gotta make sure open a little further. It's always the big reminder. Open further, going around this big old giant ring. I think this was a 3mm star-shaped ring on its thickness. So quite a bit different than these are 1.2mm, so half the size. Yeah, I'm just going to flip it over. It's always easier to work this other way for me. And I still didn't open it up far enough. There we go. Come on. Get on over there. Let's see, make sure that's right. Yeah. And then, this one still uses these. 2 more on this one. Then we go up in size. 1. We need to go through you. But why does that look weird now? Just because it's my imagination playing tricks on me again. I think it's perfectly fine. I can see it now. But at first it was looked like I missed a ring, but this is the smaller one, so around. All the way there. A little bit further open. Let me double check real quick, see if I got, looks like I got 1 viewer over at Twitch, so hello viewer at Twitch. I think, no, I don't think I have anybody on YouTube right now. I always have a hard time figuring out where YouTube is because I haven't gotten a lot of people on there live. I know I've had people showing up. What am I doing here? 1, 2. Three. Oh, I did connect that to the wrong ring. I was just talking about it, and I thought I'd seen it correctly, but yeah, I totally put it through the wrong one. Now I gotta find it again. Where's my closure? Alright. I put it through the side ring, connecting ring, not the actual ring I needed to connect to, but I'm doing something weird there. Why is it doing that weird? Should be that ring right there. If it is, okay, that's where I've got a screw up, I see. This ring, make sure that's good. Looks like I put an extra ring in there, and that would kind of make sense, I guess, in a way, from earlier when I was saying that it seemed to be when I had to take part of it apart, and I had an extra small ring that I couldn't figure out where it went. I should have had an extra one laying down on the bench after I was done with it, but I didn't. It must have been right there is where I screwed up. So that makes sense now. Alright, move out of the way, ring. So that's where I had that one. So like I said, I'd find them once I got into doing this part, because when you can't get your proper stretch on, you know that's where you've got to mess up somewhere. Alright, so now that should pull in. That's more like it. And then we go to the 18 gauge. We'll need 4 of those. Mom was on YouTube on TV. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't show me viewers unless I expand that, and that's normally how I'm finding that out later on, but it's just not showing me. Oh, there it is. Concurrent viewer. That must be why sometimes I see it and sometimes I don't. It's because my software actually ends up covering part of it up. Covering up the very bottom part of my YouTube window. And so I have to click it down, and not all the time am I covering it. I knew it was somewhere, I just couldn't figure out why I wasn't seeing it. Alrighty, flip her around. To the next screen. So it looks like I got a few between Twitch and YouTube, and a few on Facebook, so good to see y'all. If If you haven't heard me say it before, I thank everybody that does drop in and checks us out. And if you haven't liked us on Facebook, get over there, give us another like. We're one away. One away from 300. So, that one seems to be a little... we'll wait till we get these next ones in and see how she pulls. That one seems a little lightish, whatever, than where I'd like it to be. But it might change once I get this next row in, so I might have to come in, but I don't know. I thought I already got the bigger ones in there. I don't know if I could expand that too easily. We'll just have to see how she plays after this one. Oh, we're back onto the other view now. Hello, little camera. I don't think ever... Can he get into the picture here? Can you see his head? I have to wait for the view to come back up so I can see what it looks like. Yeah, get a nice big old view of Duckanana. Doo-doo-doo, it's Duckanana. Alright, Duckanana, move out of the way. I already got enough stuff on the table. I still got my big old picture camera. I don't know if it's ever shown up in any of these. No, I guess it's right off screen. Because, like I said, over the weekend I was doing a ton of pictures. I was working on a tutorial, so it's like you work on a little piece and you got to take pictures of it. And every time, you're taking several pictures of it, different angles. Sometimes it's different lighting to see if you can make it better. Once you find that lighting out, you're pretty decent. But so that's still not too shabby. And let me look over here. It's kind of, that one though, there's better right there in the middle. Let me check this one out again. Yeah, I'm not digging that. I'm out of view for this, but I just need to look at this a little bit more here. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the rest of them put on here, and then I'll decide on which ones I want to, if I want to change it. We'll see. Two of these. And then see how far we actually stretch down and see if I'm going to have to expand that out somehow. I'll have to pick out some rings, and once I can stretch it out and see which rings I want to change to give it that extraness. Could change out the side connecting rings, but that's awful high up for doing that. So, like the ones I'm doing now, I wouldn't want to make those larger right there because that would definitely make it look different than the others. So it's got to be within the triangle itself somewhere. We'll just go ahead and connect these up, and then we'll fart around with that and decide on how I'm going to change it. If I need to change it. Like I said, we'll just need to get to the end here and see if I do or don't. I need to get the full stretch down to the bottom and get a better understanding of where it's stretching at. How far down it will pull, because I want to pull all down about similar to the corners, so it'll be easier to connect them all together. Which actually, it's got a pretty decent drop down right there that I'm looking at just this part already. So it might be alright. I might actually just have to come in and add one supporting ring. I might do that at the very end. Where if I've got anywhere I need to put in a little more tightening up, I'll just come in and double up some of the rings, but I want to try to make it proportional across them all. So that'd be something I'd want to do at the end. Yeah. Alright, let me do a good check here. So it could go down a little bit further, but overall it's not too bad. This one's a little the same on that. Let me double check this side. And this one was the more tighter one. So yeah, I think we're getting down far enough where I think we might be alright. Till I get it all start coming together and then decide on changing that up. So, we'll just go ahead and start on our next triangle then. And then we'll have all of our 5 triangles put into place. Then more fun gets to happen. And where are we at here? We're at 55. So, yeah, it might be a good stopping point. After we get this triangle in, it might be a little bit early, but it'd probably be the best spot to stop. If I start working on some of it, I'd like to be able to work on a little bit more of it, just to see how I want to do the connections and continue it. So, we will probably close up the stream after this. Triangles put in. But don't forget to come back on Wednesday, small project night. We skipped last Wednesday. I had so much going on with the band pictures and stuff, and my desk was a mess. I didn't get to have it, so we will be back this Wednesday with a small project night. Again, I still don't know what I want to do. I have a few ideas, but like most weeks. Alright, little piece of tape. That felt weird, stretching over everything to get to it. Nope, gotta go up higher than that. Come on, pull in. I don't want it to be too much in the way of the rings below, but enough where it's going to hold it in place. There we go. And then we go on to these. And hopefully we don't have anything wrong in the center triangle this time. Like we did on the last one. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Alright. Stretch up over. And flip it around. You're good, you don't necessarily have to flip it around, but I'm definitely right-handed more so that I just feel more comfortable when I'm weaving if I can weave it with my right hand through. There are some things that I've done that need to really, you got to do the other way. They just don't work just because of the nature of the weave. Luckily, I haven't ran into it too many times that I can't do it with my natural right hand. Another one. It was pretty good on the camera. I just happened to glance up and see the camera view and go, yeah, it's looking pretty good, even though it's not even all stretched out right now. I'm kind of digging it. I think I'll really like it when I am done. Probably be like the moon. I will, there was times at the moon I was like, oh man, now this isn't going to come out right. And then the further I got along, and get a little bit better, and then I'd get a little further along going, man, it's looking weird again. But when it got done, it ended up looking good, so I was pretty happy with it. Alright. See that one, well, this is acting like it's doing the same thing as the last one wanted to do, but I guess not really. I guess it does pull down tight enough. Just want to double check that. So now we're on to 4 of these. Grab a drinky real quick. Oh. Well, like I said, so we're starting to get kind of close here near the end, since I am going to kind of close down a little early. Don't forget to check us out, get some more shares, likes out there. We got one more to get to our 300, and then we'll do a live giveaway. If we get it by Friday, we'll do our live giveaway next Wednesday. Hopefully if we can get it by Friday, I can advertise it on the Facebook page and other places too, to let people know to come join us on Wednesday night, next Wednesday. Not tomorrow, or not 2 days from now, Wednesday. Because it'll be a live giveaway, so you'll have to be here to win. So hopefully we'll actually have a big old crew. If I can get enough people to say, hey, we're doing some giveaways, you should come join us. Right? Yeah. Like I said, there'll be not super big projects that we're going to give away, but we'll give away a few little projects we've done. I know one thing I'm doing, but I don't know the other 2 I want to do, but I figured I was going to do 3. We'll start into the stream Wednesday, and then we'll probably do one, 10 minutes in, Then we'll do another one about 20 minutes after that, and then another one 20 minutes after that. Ish. It's kind of what I planned on doing. And since I'll be live and I'll have to get names and all that, I'm trying to pick a small project to do that day, since I'll be pausing to get more stuff done. And then we need 4 of these. And this one's going together a little quicker than the other one, I guess, since I didn't have a screw up in the center. Should have known that. Alright, come here, little ringy. I wonder if I could go ahead and just put both of them on this side without flipping it yet, and then flip and do the other two. Should be able to. I don't think that'll cause any problems, I hope. Haven't done it yet, but I don't see why it would. Alright, do the flippy flip. Oh, we're on the other camera now. Gotta remember. And I gotta keep putting that thing down just to help grab this pile. Turns into a pile when it bunches up, that's for sure. And then we can start thinking about how we're gonna connect them all. How long was this one pulled straight, I guess? Shouldn't say I'm done until I get done. So, yeah, that comes out pretty good. Because I'm half tempted. These come together pretty good. I could put in... I think we're going to go ahead and try that real quick, since I'm still going early-ish, but this would be something I'm only going to do a few rings of and see if we can connect them this way, and if it looks good. We come in and bring these two together, and we just put them on both sides of this. I don't know if I can keep them on this side. I'll have to see. I might have to put a connector on the other side to keep them, so we're kind of capturing that in a way, I guess. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We have one down on the back side, one on the front side, and then I could put a smaller one on that to hold them. But I don't necessarily want to do that yet, because when I start pulling on the other side, it's going to pull that up tighter. So let's just kind of see how this works right now, I guess. And that's what I kind of like doing about these things. It's always kind of a playing period. You just don't know what's going to work, so you're kind of testing while you're doing it. And then just got to make sure these get split around like that. And then if I pull this one tight, they both went on the same side again. Get apart. Come here, I just want you. There we go. And I pull that one down. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really digging that. I mean, it's kind of getting where I want it, but I guess it's not too bad the more I look at it. Let me go ahead and put in another corner here and see if we start seeing anything in that. Just not quite sure, but if I can get them all there, that'd be kind of nice to be able to hold them all in place that way. And then I can work on putting them in the center. A lot easier with these pieces not wanting to run up on me. I just got to make sure I can keep them on each side of the ring to kind of capture the star ring. Because if that doesn't happen, then I don't think it's going to work like I'm wanting. Is that side stay split? Split you, maybe. Come here, come here. Get on the other side there. And then if we pull this one down tight, I gotta pull. Oh crap! Now I got those two separating. This will be the hardest part, just keeping them on the proper side of where I want them until I can get it tight. I pull that one down, so those will actually stay in place. I'm digging it a little more and more as I keep going. So let's just go. We'll try to put in all the corners, I guess, and see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we'll probably still go ahead and call it quits after this part, just to say that we're done. That stayed on the proper side. And those pretty much. back side. This will be our front side. Get back up on the top side here. Pull you down. Now each time I'm pulling this, kind of pulling the other corners tighter than that one, but that'll pull that one. Will these get close enough? They should. Make sure that I'm not having enough room there. That one seemed a little tighter than the other valve. Just the way I'm doing it there, so yeah. Let's go ahead and put those two in. That one did flip on me, but I'll have to... There'll be that final ring that'll probably snug them all up that I'll need to make sure that's where I'm definitely on the proper sides of each corner. This one might be a little too tight. Maybe I will have to, well, not once I let go, I guess. Get down under. And let's get you split back up here. I wonder if I should have put tape on these corners just to help it. Oh, there it is. So it's like I thought I had a second one opened already. And put you through. And we'll just have one corner. One corner left, and hopefully that will get everything down to where we want it. Come on, split back apart there. That one's split apart. That one's split. Alright, let's try to pull these two together. Will I have enough room? I don't know. I might have to come back and... Yeah, this just seems a little too much. I wonder if I have to go with a larger ring on those. So these two just don't want to seem to... Well, maybe it's just because... No, they're definitely coming together closer on the others. I don't want to have one where... maybe it'll just be a super tight fit. Let's try a super tight fit there and hope for the best. If not, like I said, I can change out the rings, go up a size to try to bring it, give me a little more play in there, but I don't want to have too much play. I don't want to have it pretty snuggish to make sure it's all tight. So, let's see, we're still splits, okay. Get through, pull you on down here. One's going to be okay. I think it's getting the second one in that's going to be the tighter, harder one. So, that one, actually not doing too bad. This one's going to be the tougher one. To get that other ring to stand up straighter. So we can fit you through. Well, maybe... yeah. So I'm gonna need my little pair here to get down in here a little bit better, so I can get a better hold on it. Alright, well, that actually is not too bad. It's kind of leaving these on this part a little loose, but not overall too bad. I'm fairly happy with that. A little looseness in every one of the centers, but I figured that would happen. That's why I said I might have to come through and we'll double up like the centers of them. This one's the worst of them all. Let me look here. I could come in and put a smaller ring on that, but overall still not too bad. It's actually, and it might change a little bit. Let's go ahead and take this tape off real quick and see if that'll free up any movement. I don't want it to be real tight there. If I can find where my tape starts. And make sure it doesn't loosen up too much where those are going to want to fall into each other again. they weren't super snug pieces to begin with, but sometimes little things like that can change your dynamic of what you're doing. This is almost worse than trying to find a closure. Where's my tape closed? I can't even find it on that one, so I'm just going to rip it. If I can. Come on, get off there. Here we go. That one. That one's a little bit of booger, so that's... Oh, no, grab this one. Alright, so... Well, there that is. These ends are actually a little looser than I was thinking they would be. So we might have to do a little something different. Maybe if I double those up, because those were the bigger rings, and all the corners are kind of doing that. It definitely did loosen it up. I probably should have taken the tape off before I did this part, but it's loosened those up a bit too. I don't think I could put another one through on that side, but overall, not too bad so far. A few little minor tweaks, I think, but for the most part, you know, especially when it's, let's see, we're on a side camera now, so I can hold it up more and so you can see any droopage, per se. Try to get a good angle on it. So not too bad. I'm definitely kind of liking that. Now we just got to start working on filling in the middle and try to figure out how I want to do that. That'll be the fun part next, trying to figure out ring sizes. So I've got a little looseness in these second rings here. I might pull those out and see if I can put in a different one. But I think I'm going to have to, on that one, I might make a few minor changes in my connecting ring sizes on my bottom rows here. And see if that might help it. Give it a little more stretch in a way, but be able to pull it tighter on my sides. Because I'm still debating on that too, so, but we'll go ahead and call it quits for tonight. We got a little progress done, kind of finished up a good portion of it, and maybe I'll get a little bit of testing and see if I decide on a way I kind of want to pull the rest together, or I might just work on changing some of these out. If I do, I'll let you guys know about what I change out next week, and see how that goes. So I want to thank everybody again for dropping in, saying hey, checking out the video. If you're watching later, great. If you ever have any comments or anything, just drop them along, send me messages. Don't forget to give us a like. We got that one more like on Facebook to get, so we can start doing some giveaways. And check us out on Twitch and YouTube. We've got a channel, we stream to those too. So again, I hope you all are having a great Labor Day. I hope you all have the rest of the evening great before you go back to work tomorrow. And we'll see you on Wednesday. You take it easy.